Hello students, here it is a continuation video of today's class. In our previous video we learnt about how to find the phase angle between current and voltage in a pure resistor circuit. Okay, here in this video let me see how to find the phase angle between current and voltage in a pure inductor circuit. Okay, so far I consider a pure inductor of inductance L. Then this is connected with a alternating source of EMF V is equal to Vm sin omega t. After the connection there will be a flow of alternating current in the circuit. Okay, here due to this alternating current flow the inductor that induce an self-induced EMF, okay, or back EMF. Okay, we know here it is an alternating current. Due to the change in current there will be a change in magnetic flux. Due to the change in magnetic flux it will produce an induced EMF in the coil, that is known as self-induced EMF. Okay, that self-induced EMF or back EMF that is given by self-induced EMF or back EMF, that is given by psi is equal to minus L di by dt. Okay, here also I am applying Kirchhoff second law. Applying Kirchhoff second law. Okay, we know the applied voltage is equal to the developed voltage. Here the applied voltage, that is V, the developed voltage will oppose the applied voltage according to Lenz's law. So we can write this one as minus psi. Okay, then substituting these two in this equation, then we get V became Vm sin omega t, that is equal to minus psi. Psi is minus L di by dt. Okay, then minus plus, then we get Vm sin omega t is equal to L di by dt. Here our ultimate aim is to find the phase angle between the current and voltage. So I am considering the current alone, then remaining terms are get into the other side. Okay, then di became, di is equal to Vm by L sin omega t dt. Okay, then in order to find the I, so I am integrating this equation on both sides. Okay, integrating both sides. Then integration of di is equal to integration of Vm by L sin omega t dt. Integrating di we get I. Here Vm by L is a constant one, then Vm by L is taking out of integral, then integrating sin omega t dt. Okay, we know integrating sin omega t with respect to t we get minus cos omega t by omega. Okay, then I is equal to Vm by L. Integrating this we get minus cos omega t by omega. Okay, plus integration constant. Okay, see this integration constant is independent of time. Okay, so we can consider this one as 0 because here the current does not depends on time by the equation. Okay, so we can consider the integration constant as 0. Then the resultant term I is equal to Vm by L omega minus cos omega t. Okay, we can write this cos omega t in terms of sin because we need the equation in terms of sin. Okay, so I am changing this cos omega t in terms of sin. We know sin 90 minus theta, that means sin 90 can be written as pi by 2 minus theta is equal to cos theta. Okay, so sin 90 minus omega t is equal to cos omega t. If suppose I put minus here, here also I put minus, so we can write minus cos omega t is equal to, take the minus into the bracket, then we get sin omega t minus pi by 2. Okay, then substitute this minus cos omega t in this equation as sin omega t minus pi by 2. Okay, then current I became I is equal to Vm by L omega, then this one became sin omega t minus pi by 2. Okay, then we know this one will be similar to the okay, let me compare this equation with the current in the resistor circuit. Okay, we know current I is equal to, that is Im sin omega t. Okay, comparing this equation with this equation, we get this one is a peak current. Okay, then peak current, that is Im is equal to Vm by L omega. Okay, we know V is equal to Vm sin omega t and I is equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. Okay, here this two equation shows the voltage lags current by phase angle pi by 2. Sorry, the current lags the voltage by phase angle pi by 2 because it is minus. Okay, and the voltage leads and the current lags phase angle pi by 2. Okay, see, the current lags behind the voltage by phase angle pi by 2. Okay, by using this data we can draw a phasor diagram. Okay, we know first of all the applied voltage, that is a sine wave like this. Okay, then for this case I applied a phasor, I draw a phasor diagram at this instant. Okay, then it is a phasor that is represented as V. Okay, for this case this y axis is Vm sin omega t, this OA, that is here I write this OA is Vm. Okay, this is V and this is V, this is pi, this is 2 pi. Okay, then in order to draw the current, that is I is equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. Okay, here the current is minus pi by 2, so we can draw, that is the current will lags, okay, behind the phase angle pi by 2, then current, this one is a current that is lagging 90 degree, that is pi by 2. Okay, for this case okay, in order to draw the graph, so the current here it is pi by 2. Okay, here the current is lagging behind the phase angle pi by 2. Okay, this phase angle is nothing but phi, that is equal to pi by 2. Then this vertical axis, that is represented as I is equal to Im sin omega t. Okay, here it is OB, then OB is written as Im. Okay, we know the current term, the peak current is Im is equal to Vm by L omega. Vm by L omega. Here it is comparing with the equation that we proceed in our previous class, that is Im in the resistor, that is equal to Vm by R. Okay, so this resistance value is equal to this value. Okay, so we can consider this one as R is equal to L omega. Okay, here it is not R, that is XL. Okay, XL is equal to L omega. Here XL is a reactant, that is a inductive reactance. Okay, inductive reactance means the resistance offered by the inductor to the current I. Okay, let me see about this. We know the peak current, that is Im is equal to Vm by L omega. Comparing this current with the maximum current in the resistor circuit, that is we know Im is equal to Vm by R. Okay, in the resistor circuit this is R, so this one will be R. Okay, here it is nothing but the resistance offered by the inductor. Okay, that is known as inductive reactance. Okay, inductive reactance is nothing but the resistance offered by the inductor. Resistance offered by the inductor is known as inductive reactance. Okay, so we can write XL is equal to L omega. Then we know omega is equal to 2 pi f. Okay, so XL is equal to L 2 pi f. For an AC circuit, okay, XL is proportional to f. If frequency increases, then the inductive reactance, that means the resistance offered by the inductor, increases. Okay, for DC, for steady source, for a steady source, that means DC current, the frequency of the DC is 0. For that it offers zero resistance. Okay, here there is a question arise. An inductor block AC but allow DC. Why? Okay, we know inductor is nothing but a coil. See, the question is inductor block AC but allow AC. Inductor block AC but allow DC. Okay, it's an important question. See, it can be easily solved. Okay, see, this is a inductor. Inductor is nothing but a coil of wire. Okay, if suppose I am applying a DC source, it will start from 0 and end with a particular current value, suppose 1 ampere. Okay, after reaching it, it will produce a uniform magnetic field. There is no change in magnetic field. Due to the no change in magnetic field, it will allow the current in the inductor. Okay, but for the AC, due to the change in current, okay, here it will produce an alternating magnetic flux. Due to the change in magnetic flux, it will produce an self-induced EMF. We know according to Lenz's law that self-induced EMF opposes the cause. Okay, so for that it offer finite resistance for AC. Okay, finite resistance for AC, it depend on the frequency on which the AC works. Okay, but here the XL value will be 0. It offer zero resistance for DC, but it offer particular resistance for AC. That's why the inductor block AC but allow DC. Okay, let me see a short recap on today's class. In today's class, we learned about phasor and phasor diagram. Phasor is a tool that is used to describe the time varying quantity. That means voltage and current in alternating source. Okay, then using that phasor diagram, we know the phase angle between current and voltage in resistor and inductor circuit. In resistor circuit, the phase angle between the current and voltage is same. So in a phasor diagram, the current and voltage are in same phase. Okay. Then next, in a inductor circuit. In inductor circuit, the only difference is the induced EMF, okay, that oppose the cause responsible for the production. So we are here I am putting the minus sign. Okay, for that case I am applying the rules. Then next I found that the current I is equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. Okay, this shows the current lags the voltage by phase angle pi by 2 in an inductive circuit. Okay, then next I found the inductive reactance. Okay, inductive reactance is nothing but the opposition offered by the inductor to the current flow. Okay, that is XL is equal to L omega. That will depend on frequency of that source. Okay, for AC source it will be having some value, so inductance will be somewhere. Okay, but for the DC source the frequency of the DC is 0, so the inductive reactance for DC is 0. That's why the inductor block AC but allow AC. Okay, here let me see the today's assignment. Only 3 questions, one from short answer, one from very short answer, one from long answer. Okay, this is what is phasor, you know very well. The next, find out the phase angle between voltage and current in a pure resistive circuit. This is a book inside question, page number 238, left side. Okay, the next one long answer, that is find out the phase relation between voltage and current in a pure inductive circuit. Okay, complete it soon and send it through the mail ID. Okay, thank you.